Oh, would you look at this? Yikes. You guys are getting a little desperate, huh? Holy shit. But is it wrong? It's not wrong. Over here on the left, we've been saying this for years, okay? She panders so bad. And it's transparent. Nobody over here on the left can understand why they fall for it when it's so obvious. So it's not wrong. And, like, they had to do something like this. Okay, you look at the map, there's no path. They had to blow something up, okay? They had to do something like this. They had no choice. It's desperate, but you know, accept it, right? Yes, it's desperate. They had to be desperate. Desperate, creative, you know, same thing here, right? This is not the way to do it. This is utter foolishness, and it will backfire badly. Okay? It's not that it'll backfire with blacks, and it's not likely. Some polls have him at around 2% with blacks, right? He, in that sense, you know, he might be thinking he's got nothing to lose. This is going to backfire with whites. And in fact, it's going to backfire with southern racist whites. This whole strategy of Trump trying to appeal to minority voters. Okay, look at the southerners that are voting for him. These are very poor, uneducated white people. They're not voting for Trump because he's got good economic policies. They're voting for Trump or they're not voting for the Republicans because the Republicans help them. They're voting for the Republicans because they're worked up, right? And for Trump to come up and say, no, she's a bigger bigot, you know what that does? That's a dog whistle. It's unintentional, but in the sense that they believe him, if they believe him, then they'll vote for her. Because they want to vote for the biggest bigot. Hey, it's actually easy to have empathy for Donald Trump right now, okay? Because he got himself into a mess here. I don't think he realized just how fucked up the Republican Party is nowadays. But I think that that's the truth of it. That the Republican candidate, Donald Trump or not, standing up on a podium and saying, my opponent is a bigger bigot than me, will bleed the base. The elites moving over will not bleed the base. The fact that he's not promoting conservative ideals, that will not bleed the base. Probably the only thing he could have done to convince Southern whites to vote for Clinton instead of him, I mean the specific type, right, is to tell them that she's a bigot, that she's a bigger bigot than him. Because that's their voting decision. They vote against their own interests based on who the biggest bigot is. If you put 10 bigots in a room and you rank them from most bigot to least bigot, the biggest bigot would always win. Always, every time. And so when I say that this is going to trigger the landslide, I don't mean with blacks. And in fact, I don't even mean with moderate whites. I mean with bigots. Because that's what they want to vote for. That's the dog whistle. Unintentional, ironic. But there you go. Donald Trump telling his base to go back to the Democrats because they're bigger bigots than him.